We've seen 5 operations come and go here in Black Ops 4, with First Strike, Absolute Zero, Grand Heist, Spectre Rising, and Apocalypse Z. All 5 of these operations have had their different themes and content, but they all stayed relatively realistic within the world of BO4. Some things were a little more extravagant, like for instance the cops and robbers outfits from Grand Heist, but outside of that, nothing was really too outlandish or wild. However, that trend was broken with Operation Number 6, which launched earlier this week, called the Dark Divide. Operation Dark Divide, which is the last new operation that we'll ever see in BO4, is based on superheroes versus villains, and it is definitely the most extravagant and out there operation that we've seen so far. The lore is a little twisted this time around, and how it all exactly ties into the greater story of BO4, honestly, I'm not too sure. Perhaps it isn't meant to at all, and instead it's just a fun final send-off for the year. But regardless, Operation Dark Divide is here, and with it comes a handful of new features and plenty of new content all across the board. So today we're breaking down 8 things you probably don't know about Operation Dark Divide. But before we jump into all of that, if you guys are new here and you want to stay on top of all of the new updates, leaks, rumors, and other intel regarding Call of Duty, I am always covering it each and every day right here on the channel, so feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when I post a new video. And of course, if you enjoyed this one, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it does really help out. And now let's get into a handful of things you probably don't know about Operation Dark Divide here in Black Ops 4. So first and foremost, let's start off with some backstory that we have here for the operation, and that comes to us courtesy of the brand new multiplayer map called Lair. Now, to be honest, even this map doesn't give us a significantly better picture of how this all came to be. It's definitely not like Apocalypse Z, where we literally had radio broadcasts warning us that a zombie outbreak was coming. But thanks to Treyarch's Dark Divide breakdown stream and the map's description, we do know that Lair is set on the side of a volcano and is the base of operations for a group called Arcadius. This layer is specifically placed here because Arcadius plans to harness the power of the volcano and direct it into a death laser because, you know, every single evil villain out there has to have a death laser. It's like an unwritten rule at this point. However, there is one thing standing in the way of Arcadius, and that is the hero specialists who have come to stop any potential evil plans. Outside of that though, the backstory doesn't really get that much deeper. It is a pretty simplistic story overall, but one other pretty cool thing to note is that on the map itself, in the very center room that overlooks the death laser, you can actually see the silhouette of who we can only assume is the boss or the leader of Arcadius. We don't actually get any clear look at him, but we do know it is a he thanks to the Treyarch devs referring to him as such. And the only other time we can actually see him is in the reveal trailer for the operation for a very brief moment, and even then it's only the back of his head. This dude does also have a pet monkey though, which can also be seen as a silhouette, so there is that as well. I think a lot of people first saw this map and might have assumed this was the base of operations for Savannah Mason Meyer from the Specialist HQ, but it is in fact not. It is its own completely different base of operations with its own minor backstory. The second thing you may not have known about Operation Dark Divide is that some of the content in it was actually teased, or I guess leaked rather, multiple months ago. Way back, I believe around the time Operation Grand Heist was set to go live, or maybe shortly thereafter, we ended up seeing a leaked in-game render file of a cat-like outfit for Seraph. So way back then, many months ago, we figured we would see that cat skin come to the game in maybe the next few weeks. But lo and behold, here we are now in late September, and we only just got the Kitty 6 outfit for Seraph thanks to Operation Dark Divide. The outfit is now available in the shop, so unfortunately, if you want it, you do have to spend some COD points on it, which kinda sucks, but nonetheless, we've had this outfit right in front of us for the better part of BO4, honestly, and it's now only available to us with this operation, so that's a pretty interesting thing to note there. Moving on, this is probably one of the strangest things that we've come to see thanks to Dark Divide, and it's certainly something that I think a lot of people are very curious about. Ever since Black Ops 3 came out, the identity of Spectre has been one very big mystery. We haven't even been able to 100% confirm Spectre is a male or a female at this point, or even who's behind the mask. There's been plenty of theories, but ever since late 2015, the identity of Spectre has been unknown. With Black Ops 4 though, in the Specialist HQ, the main idea floating amongst the community is that Jessica Mason Green is in fact Spectre, but even then, that could not be 100% confirmed to be true. But here in Dark Divide, we got a brand new look at Spectre, and it is a very strange one. Once again, here we turn to the Blackjack shop for some intel, as the brand new Spectral outfit for Spectre shows the Specialist off in a way that we have not seen before. It replaces the normal Spectre mask or helmet with some kind of skull in a see-through glass helmet. Here we're able to see some pretty strange images appear on the glass, almost as a projection of some sorts, but even those don't give us a clear answer as to Spectre's identity or even gender. And behind those projections is just a skull. Kinda creepy, but also kinda cool. Next up, let's talk weapon variants, because you probably didn't know that prior to Operation Dark Divide, there was only one base weapon in the game outside of the Hellion Salvo and the Combat Knife that did not have any kind of Mark II or Mastercraft variant, and that was the VKM. Every other assault rifle, SMG, tactical rifle, light machine gun, sniper, shotgun, and pistol have at least one Mastercraft or Mark II variant unlockable or purchasable for it. But the VKM finally got some love here in Dark Divide, as at tier 25 you can unlock the Magic Carpet Ride Mastercraft for it. It might not be the most flashy or eye-catching variant out there, but with it, every single core weapon in the game outside of the launcher and knife now has at least one variant available to unlock or purchase, and I'd say it's about time. While we are on the topic of weapons, let's also jump over to the AN-94, which is not a brand new weapon to Call of Duty, but rather a brand new weapon to BO4 in specific that came with Operation Dark Divide. Now this assault rifle is essentially a copy and paste from its original form in Black Ops 2, and with that, the same properties apply in the form of its rather unique fire rate. The first 2 rounds you shoot are actually fired at a faster rate than the remaining rounds in the mag, meaning by tap firing 2 rounds at a time, you can actually increase the overall fire rate and shoot more bullets in a shorter amount of time than if you were simply just holding down the trigger. Normally, if you have a full auto weapon, you want to hold down the trigger to have the fastest fire rate, but the AN-94 is an outlier in that situation, so keep that in mind when using it in-game. Continuing on down the list, another thing that you might not have known about Operation Dark Divide is that this was likely the very last major update that we'll ever see in BO4 in terms of large-scale content. Obviously, in the upcoming days and weeks, we are still going to see these standard playlist refreshes and updates to the Blackjack shop, but in terms of major updates, this one was likely the last one for the year, pending any major game-breaking bugs. Normally, with new operations, we see a new title update go live. This time, we did not. However, a week prior, we saw the 1.24 update go live, which added in all of the assets for the operation beforehand. So this time around, no actual download was necessary, and going off of the roadmap, usually we see a list of in-season updates to expect throughout the operation. But this time around, the roadmap strictly breaks down the content that we got on day 1. So it doesn't really seem like we're going to have any big mid-operation updates this time around, and thus we might not have any more title updates for the remainder of Black Ops 4. Kind of a bittersweet thing there, but it is what it is. Following that up, yet another thing that you probably don't know about this operation, and something that pretty much no one knows, is when exactly this operation is going to end. Usually we see a countdown timer on the contraband screen, informing us that in so many days, the contraband tiers will refresh. But this time around, there is no such timer, and instead we simply have the contraband tiers there under the Dark Divide theme. And as of now, it's going to permanently stay in the game from this day forward, unless we get some announcement from Treyarch later on down the road. I would assume in year 2 of BO4, we'll see the older operations cycle through here and there, but this lack of a countdown timer says otherwise for now, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for any potential changes with that. Then finally, the last thing you probably don't know about Operation Dark Divide is that it brought a very slight change to the Blackout HUD when you eliminate a squad. Previously, when you wiped a squad, you would simply see their names slide through the kill feed, and that was that. But now, above where you see the name, emblem, and calling card of the player you downed or killed, you'll actually see a notification saying squad eliminated once you and your team take out a squad, so that's a pretty neat little touch there. With all of that being said though, those are 8 things you probably didn't know about Operation Dark Divide, and that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And of course, if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, ranging from news to leaks to updates and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when I post a new video. As always, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links are listed down in the description below. And once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.